Mrs. Seabolt?
Here.
Mr. Barone?
Here.
Mrs. Vale?
Here.
Thank you. If we all stand, we'll give, invocation this evening will be given by Mr. Francis, and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Bow your heads if you wish. Beloved God, we come to you for your guidance, your light, and your wisdom. Guide and direct our decisions. Let them be pleasing to those whom we serve. And let those whom we serve know that we do it humbly. But you put that humility into each one of us. Let us discuss and be obedient to what you would have done. We ask all this in his holy name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, you've all received the minutes of the last council meeting. Are there any changes or additions to those minutes? Hearing none, could I have a motion to accept these minutes?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to accept the minutes, Mrs. Newell? We don't need a roll call on that?
Oh, no.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. Have you received any petitions or communications?
No.
Any committee reports? Liquor control licenses? Proclamations? Okay. People speaking on matters that aren't covered by city council? Okay, so we're ready for the legislative portion of the meeting. Resolutions up first for third reading. We have none for first or second. Resolution number 2014-60. Would you please read that in its entirety, please?
Resolution number 2014-60. A resolution to authorize the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with the Director of Transportation for resurfacing and related work on portions of U.S. Route 36 and State Route 768 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Third reading for this, I'd like to ask for passage of resolution number 2014-60.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the passage of this resolution. Are there any questions?
I actually believe that you as...
Can't do that?
Somebody else needs to move it.
Oh, okay.
What?
I can't do this, you have to.
Okay. I will move for passage of resolution 2014-60.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the passage of this resolution. Now, are there any questions?
Could I
Sir.
just get some clarification on, if it's easy to tell us tonight, what parts of 36 are targeted for resurfacing and 768?
Well, all of 36 from the west limits of the city through to the Radio Hill.
Okay.
You know, there's some exceptions to that because we're about to pave East High Street this year in our paving project. And then they'll, over these next 2 years before they do it, they'll give a serious look to the area of Coshocton Avenue that was recently paved. So I would anticipate those won't get paved, the ones that
Okay.
were just recently done. This is scheduled for early 17. And has a price tag for us, I believe, about 490, is that right, Terry?
Okay, so this would be 36 all the way up Radio Hill.
Yep.
Okay.
This is 80-20.
80/20, our 20% is that figure.
And the square.
Yeah, square.
Really?
Okay. Thank you.
So you've got to do it.
You need to ask for the roll call.
What?
The roll call. I can't do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I need to do that too. All right. Could we please have a roll call vote on that?
Mr. Francis?
Yes.
Mrs. Carl?
Yes.
Mr. Hillier?
Yes.
Mrs. Seabolt?
Yes.
Mr. Barone?
Yes.
Mrs. Vale?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 2014-63, Ms. Newell.
Resolution number 2014-63. A resolution to grant an easement in Plum Alley to the Woodward Development Corporation.
Ms. Vale.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. This legislation we have seen 2 times before, and it is with regard to the Woodward Opera House. and the fact that there is an offset that they want to have, on which they'd like to have an easement. There is an appendix to this so that you can see the map if you so choose. We don't have it up on the screen.
I can get it right here.
I'll put it up on the
So you can
screen.
do that while you're asking for passage?
Yes. Ask for
Pardon me?
passage. Ask for the passage of-
Okay, we'll ask for passage first.
Yes.
All right. I would
Second.
like, I'm going to move for passage of Resolution
I thought you had, yes.
2014-63.
Okay, second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any questions? Mrs. Vale?
Thank you. Rob has us all confused tonight.
No, you-
I'm
This is
sorry.
different
No,
from what
we're-
we've ever had.
We're fine. We're fine.
Okay,
I just don't want someone coming back and,
Okay.
all right.
Very good.
All right. So we have sought the approval of passage on Resolution 2014-63, and could we have a roll call vote, please?
Any questions?
Mr. Francis?
Okay.
Yes.
Mrs. Carl?
Yes.
Mr. Hillier?
Yes.
Mrs. Siebel?
Yes.
Mr. Barone?
Yes.
Mrs. Vale?
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 2014 has been adopted. Resolution 2014-64. Ms. Newell, please.
Resolution number 2014-64. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to sell by sealed bid a fire vehicle not needed for public use by the city of Mount Vernon.
Thank you. Ms. Siebel.
Thank you. I would like for passage of resolution number 2014-64.
Second?
Moved and seconded for the passage. Mrs. Siebel.
This is an old vehicle in 1992 that is no longer being needed. We're going to put it up for sale, and then they'll be able to use the money back in the general fund. So this will be a great thing to get done. I would like to have roll call.
Mr. Francis?
Yes.
Mrs. Carl?
Yes.
Mr. Hillier?
Yes.
Mrs. Siebel?
Yes.
Mr. Barone?
Yes.
Mrs. Vale?
Yes.
Very good. Resolution 2014-64 has been adopted. For resolutions and second reading, we begin with the resolution number 2014-70. Ms. Newell.
Resolution number 2014-70. A resolution to authorize the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with the Director of Transportation for resurfacing and related work on State Route 586 within the city of Mount Vernon and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Ms. Vale.
Hold on just a moment, I'm sorry. Trying to fool with this new toy we have. Okay. Here we are. Okay. This is another one of the resurfacing projects that will be done by ODOT and for which we must pay a portion, and we must approve this legislation because we must provide for ODOT our share assured before it can even be bid. So with that, I would like to move for, well, no,
This is-
this is second reading. I'm going to just ask for a second reading on this.
Good girl. Thank you. Okay, resolution 2014-70 receives a second reading. Thank you, Ms. Vale. Okay, resolution number 2014-71. Ms. Newell.
Resolution number 2014-71. A resolution approving the appointment of Jim Gaston as an alternate member to the Board of Property Maintenance Appeals of Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Thank you. Mr. Francis.
Thank you. Resolution 2014-71 receives its second reading.
Resolution 2014-71 has received its second reading this evening. Thank you. Resolution 2014-72. Ms. Newell.
Resolution number 2014-72. A resolution approving the appointment of Jim Meyer as an alternate member to the Board of Property Maintenance Appeals of Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Thank you. Mr. Francis.
This will also receive its second reading.
Okay, resolution 2014-72 receives its second reading this evening. Resolution 2014-73. Ms. Newell.
Resolution number 2014-73. A resolution approving the appointment of Josh Klein to the Board of Property Maintenance Appeals of Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Thank you. Mr. Francis?
I think we're going to recognize the second reading on this one.
Second reading also for Resolution 2014-73. Resolution, and the last resolution for second reading is 2014-74. Mrs. Newell?
Resolution number 2014-74. A resolution approving the appointment of Marilyn Nagy to the Board of Property Maintenance Appeals of Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Mr. Francis?
This also receives a second reading.
Resolution 2014-74 receives it into an executive session. So at this point, I'd like
Just a
to,
point of order, we can't adjourn. We go in executive session, then we
Is it-
adjourn.
okay,
Entertain
thank
a
you,
motion
because I didn't know how to do that anyway. So I'm going to ask that we
We're going
adjourn
to
into,
request a motion to go into executive session.
and I need a second.
I'm going to
for that.
move to go into executive session for personnel.
Second.
And we need to call roll on that.
And the specific purpose is to
Oh, that's
discuss compensation of an employee of the political subdivision.
Exactly what I was going to say. Thank you.
Tanya?
Was there a second? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
second, yeah.
Mr. Francis?
Yes.
Mrs. Carl?
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard?
Yes.
Mrs. Siebel?
Yes.
Mr. Barone?
Yes.
Mrs. Vale?
Yes,
We are then in executive session, correct?
correct.